there is something that I am probably going to do in about 10 minutes or so. And this something is incredibly stupid. But I think I want to do it anyway. I am just going through this thing. I'm going from one phase in my life to another. And I need this wall. There's a lot of dirt. I don't know what I was thinking. I am not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Bomen in een groot kabouterbos stond een heel klein schattig huisje, zomaar midden op het mos. I am babysitting for the first time. He is exactly 1 week old today. I can just look at him for hours without getting bored. He has these adorable little facial expressions and they change every couple of seconds. Yes, they do.
Grandma is going to climb a tree.
Oh wow.
I think.
How high will you go?
Well, this is it.
Okay.
I really think that this is it. It looked a lot better from downstairs. I don't think that my old grandma bones are fit for this anymore. We were here when we just met, Rogier and I. And now he just told me that when we were sitting here, somewhere over there,
8 years ago?
8 years ago, he was thinking that I was terribly weird.
Well, not terribly, but I thought you were a little bit weird.
But what was weird?
Strange.
Strange?
Very strange.
Very strange.
Yes.
But in a good way, right?
Well, I
Just say yes.
yes.
Ja, ik heb hem.
Yeah?
Ja. I think we can all agree that this is not the smartest thing I ever did, considering the fact that I should be finishing all kinds of other things right now, and I'm not, I'm doing this. But I also think that we can blame it on the grandma hormones. I am just going through this thing. I'm going from one phase in my life to another, and I need this wall. So it is going to be so much work. Right now I can still decide to go back. I can just put some plaster in it and then just call it a day. But I don't think that I want to, because I know how it is going to look when all of these bricks, these over 100 years old beautiful bricks, are exposed, because I have a wall like that upstairs. And I love it. Okay, I definitely need to fill this up. The space in between the window and the wall, because there's a wind blowing in right now. Oh God, you are not supposed to do this. Let's just see how long it is going to take me to clean all of this. Because I think that probably I'm not going to feel so excited anymore. It's just this dark layer. It's just very gross. Is it 100-year-old dirt? I probably also have to fix the plaster over here, make it look all nice, put it against the bricks, because everything will go like this. And also I don't know what will happen up there. So let's just call it a labor of love, and let's just do this. There's a lot of dirt. I don't know what I was thinking. made wall ever. The person who made this, of course, already died because all of this is very old. But probably right now he's up there somewhere shaking his head thinking, why? I am not worried. I'm not worried at all. When everything is cleaned up, I'm going to add some plaster in some areas. And this is going to make a big difference. This is going to make it look a lot more nice. Because right now it is looking pretty rough. We need to take a little break to talk about emotions. I know, it's bad. But we need to talk about it because I just had some realizations. I greatly underestimated what I started. I also greatly underestimated the amount of stupidity that I have. And this is interesting because usually I am aware of the amount of stupidity that I put into my projects. This time, not so much. First, I blamed it on me just being a little bit emotional about becoming a grandmother. I think there's some truth in it, but I think the truth is a little bit bigger than what I was willing to admit. When I was just walking to the stores, all of a sudden my emotions just went straight up. And all of a sudden I realized that I am feeling a lot of emotions actually, and I am just I'm trying to completely ignore it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating chaos. And the amount of chaos is just as big as the amount of emotions that I'm feeling right now. The amount of emotions that I'm trying to ignore. This is not a healthy way of dealing with emotions. What am I trying to do here? Like, if you take a look at my house right now, maybe I need to sit down for a moment. Maybe I can sit down on my beautiful, very dirty new kitchen island that I purchased with money that I don't have. Let's just do that. Let's just take a little moment and let's just talk about this. Let's just relax for a little bit. Okay, labor. It all went very, very quickly. The entire labor only lasted for 5 hours, which is very fast for a first baby. It is not what you would expect. When I arrived there, I started to keep track of Nikki's contractions on my phone. And I found out that she was having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes. This was how it started. In the Netherlands, you are supposed to call the midwife when you have contractions every 3 minutes, but they also need to be very consistent. They need to last for about 60 seconds. There was no consistency whatsoever in the duration of the contractions. Some of the contractions were lasting for 20 seconds. Some of them were lasting for more than 1.5 minutes. So I was sitting there thinking, what are we going to do? Because my intuition was telling me things are just going way too fast. But my brain was telling me we have to wait for the consistency and it's not here. In the end, I decided just to call the midwife. It just did not feel right. I told her, I think you need to get over here because it feels like things are just going very, very fast. By the time the midwife arrived, things were already a lot more intense. She decided to stay because she could also see that things were progressing very quickly. Not long after the midwife arrived, one of Nikki's best friends also arrived, which was a blessing. It truly was, because she was amazing. I was so happy to have her there. Then all of us tried to create a nice, relaxed, calming space for Nikki to be in.
We filled up the bath because she really wanted to give birth in the water. We had candles, we dimmed the lights. We really tried to create kind of a calming, serene space for her to be in. The midwife did some examinations, and already quite quickly we found out that the baby was feeling some stress because his heart rate was very high. And because the baby was feeling stressed, I was starting to feel stressed. The midwife decided that Nikki needed to get out of the bath because she needed to see if the heart rate of the baby was very high because of the warm water or because of stress. And this was very difficult for Nikki because being in the water was the only way for her to cope with all of the pain that she was having. And because things were going so quickly, the pain was just extremely intense. So we managed to get her out of the bath. The heart rate of the baby went down a little bit, but quite quickly after that it went up again. So now we have this situation wherein Nikki is almost 10 centimeters dilated. There's only a tiny little edge left. She is already starting to push. We have membranes that are not broken yet. We have a baby that is in distress with a heart rate that is way too high. Nikki is having a very hard time with coping with all of this because she can't be in the water. And then we have a midwife and she is just sitting there, and it just seemed to me like she was very indecisive. And this was making me feel more stressed. So I said to her, don't you think that we should, or you actually, that you should break her water right now? It's just, she's pushing, the baby's in distress, she needs to, we need to speed all of this up. We need to get this baby out, right? And then she looked at me and then she said, maybe that's a good thing to do. And then I was thinking, but wait a minute, you are the expert here. You are the one with the education. You are the one who is supposed to deliver this baby. This is not my place. I don't know. I mean, I do know. I know what to do because I've been to labors before. I've seen babies being born. I've delivered 2 babies myself. But, you know, I am not a midwife. You are the midwife here. Why aren't you making any decisions? Why do I need to tell you to... I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit angry right now. Anyway, she asked me, can you bring me my this and this and this and this? So I got her all of her tools. She broke the water. She gave the pad that was underneath, all of it to me. And she asked me, can you go to the kitchen, because we had bright lights in the kitchen, can you go to the kitchen to check the amniotic fluid for meconium? Just in case you don't know what meconium is, it is when there is baby poo in the amniotic fluid and it looks green. When there's meconium in the amniotic fluid, it is a sign of the baby having a lot of stress. And it is a medical indication to go to the hospital immediately. So I was looking at all of this and to me it was just not clear enough. So I went back to the midwife and I told her, I need you to get over here. I need you to take a look at it because I'm not sure. I don't know what I am looking at. It looks a little bit green, but it could also be the kitchen light. Like, who am I to decide about all of this? So then the midwife also came to the kitchen and we were staring at all of this amniotic fluid together, trying to figure out, is it green, is it not green? And again, she was just not making a decision. And she was asking me all of these questions like, what do you think? Do you think this is green or do you think it is not green? And I just told her, you know, I think that we just need to call an ambulance because I don't think that we should take any chances with a baby. So then
she decided to call the hospital. And I don't know, to me, it just felt like she was putting a great deal of responsibility on my shoulders. Responsibility that I was not expecting to have, because I was expecting her to take all of this responsibility. I was expecting her to make the decisions because she is the midwife. She called an ambulance, the ambulance came, the hospital is only 6 minutes away. They took Nikki to the hospital, we followed in a car. We had this whole ordeal with figuring out where Nikki was in the hospital. We found her, and 30 minutes after that the baby was born. Thankfully he was completely fine. I was expecting him to, I don't know, maybe need a little bit of help, but he did not need anything. He was perfect. He was perfect. I think I was just a lot more worried and a lot more scared than what I was willing to admit to myself. The chaos in this kitchen right now is just a translation of all of the emotions, the stress and the worry that I felt during this whole process of labor. I was just so scared that this baby was going to die. I was really, really scared. Right now I'm just realizing how ridiculous my coping mechanisms are when I'm trying to deal with all kinds of emotions. It's a whole thing, and I think I just need to express some of the stress and the worry and the fear that I felt before I can deal with all of this. It's actually quite funny. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck happened here? And I'm sorry for my words. Normally I never use words like this on my YouTube channel, but today I'm going to say it. What the fuck just happened in the last 2 weeks? I need some time to cope with everything. I need some time to deal with all of the emotions, not only with the stress that I felt during labor, but also with all of the emotions of me becoming a grandmother, because all of the things that I'm feeling, wow, I'm feeling so much love towards this tiny little human being. I just did not expect everything to feel so intense. And in the meanwhile, I'm also in this this ridiculous chaos that I created. Like, how am I going to calm down when I'm in the middle of this? What did I just do? It's like, the amount of stupidity. Usually I expect a certain amount of stupidity in all of the things that I do, because that's who I am. But this time I just did not see it coming. Right now I think there's only one thing for me to do right now. I think I just need to clean. Cleaning is going to sort out most of all of this, I think. It is going to clear my mind. It is definitely going to clear the space. I am going to get rid of all of this. And all of this. And all of this. All of my stress is just, it's here. It's just translated into dust, dirt, rubble, and chaos. It's like I just poured my soul out in the form of dirt. I'm just going to try to get rid of all of the dirt. And then I'm going to figure out what to do with all of this. I actually have paint, believe it or not. In amongst all of the chaos, I also did a little bit of shopping. Vintage blue. Paint for the walls, paint for the windows. It's this whole thing.
So yeah, I also had a little accident. It was not because I was doing too much, it was actually because I was not doing anything. I was not feeling great. I think I have a little bit of a virus. I did a COVID test. It's okay, it's not COVID, it's just a little bit of a cold. I just had a bit of a sore throat, a bit of a headache. I was just not feeling great. I was trying to work on this wall and I just could not do it anymore. I was just feeling miserable. So I called my youngest son and I told him, you know, I could really use your help. Are you in the mood to do a little bit of demo? And he said, yay, I will be there in half an hour. So he came over here, he did all of this work for me. It is amazing. It all went so quickly. What he also did was he created a little situation. He was standing on the ladder over there with this sledgehammer thing in his hands. And I was standing over here and the whole thing, the ladder with him on it, it just came towards me. And I thought, you know, I think I can catch this. My arm it's not broken. I went to the hospital, they made an x-ray, it's fine. The smart thing to do is just to empty out the entire kitchen, because having all of these things in here is just, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So let's get everything out. Let's get everything dust free. And then tomorrow I'm going to have a blank canvas and then I'm going to make some decisions about what to do next. Great, it's great to have a plan. I feel so much more calm and satisfied.